So any area of blocked energy in the body is, of course, going to affect the amount of life force flowing to the tissues in the area, right? And so when there's an area of contraction in the body, I'll use the thyroid issue just because you can see my hands, but when there's an area of contraction in the body, that's where the dense energy would be, right? There's kind of a holding happening. Some of the energy in the system is being used to push against. So maybe the anger is in the throat, let's just say that. And because I'm not comfortable expressing it, maybe I've been punished for expressing it or shamed or whatever, or I've been fearful of it because I've had a parent who was very angry and it scared me. And so then the system begins to use its life force to push down against that energy that we call anger, which is just really an energy that wants to flow. So we use part of our life force to push down to keep it as far beneath the surface as possible. But as you can well see, when we push against an energy, the whole area is going to be congested and the flow of energy is going to be sluggish at best in this area. Now, when the flow of energy gets congested, that also equates to the flow of physical vitality. So the flow of blood, the flow of nerve conduction, the flow of lymphatic fluid. So the whole system, both energetically and physically, begins to get plugged up. And so now I'm not getting the nutrients that my thyroid needs, for example. I'm not getting the oxygen that my thyroid needs. And at the same time, because of the contraction, any toxins that are building up in the thyroid area are going to have a very difficult time leaving the area. So the congestion prevents the good stuff from getting in, and it prevents the toxins from being released, right? And so generally what will happen for most of us is that when energy is congested in a certain part of the body, at first, because when we're young we have a fair bit of vitality, we may not have any kind of major symptoms. And then in time, the body can only kind of withstand a lack of nutrition and a lack of detoxification for so long. And so eventually the organ that is being affected by the congestion is going to begin to malfunction. And how that will show up initially is generally fatigue. One of the first sign that we can really sense that the body is beginning to ail is fatigue, like a fatigue that cannot be alleviated with sleep or a week-long vacation. There's kind of this underlying sense of dragging yourself through the day. Right there, that's a sign that the energy body is congested. And a lot of us don't tend to pay attention at that point, right? We try to keep going. We might drink more coffee. We might take in more sugar just to kind of keep us going. And yet, that is just masking or kind of overriding a deep process that is happening in the system that really needs our attention. So I always emphasize that it's really important to listen when the body is feeling fatigued, because if you can do that on an ongoing basis and keep your energy levels like strong, then you'll be able to avoid any kind of serious symptoms and disease.